Y'all know the deal. Your boy Chili hanging out with you on a Tuesday. Man, it is like a week. Christmas is like a week away. Christmas Eve is actually a week away, and then Christmas obviously the day after. So we got like 8 days, and just trying to put everything together. Last minute Christmas shopping. You know how your boy gets down. So if you catch me in the mall, um, conversations are cool, but let's keep it moving because I still got a ton of Christmas shopping left to do. And I gotta be honest, I really haven't started it yet. I got shout out to my guy, Timeout Dev. Just so y'all know, it's basketball season, so it's his time to shine. Another guy I want to show some love to, um, real quick, if I can find it. I can't. Where did it go? I lost it. I was gonna show love to my guy Ball Dogs AC. Make sure that you guys show love to him. Timeout Dev. There's a ton of great camera folks out there. eVision that masqueraded during the football season with some coverage. So make sure that you guys show them love. They're hoops guys by nature. So all my basketball, all my football guys that play basketball, the Rico Blazen games, the Avions, the Desmonds, like out there, like make sure that you guys show love, point at the camera, give them all the content that they need. They're working hard out there. Our video guys are working incredibly hard out there. Our camera guys also make sure that you guys show love, say thanks, things like that. Give them their uh, Twitter flowers, their Instagram flowers, things like that. So um, I'm definitely going to try to catch a couple games, a couple hoops games at least. I'm not sure how many I'll get out to, but it is hoop season, so I'm definitely going to try to make sure that I can get out there and watch some guys go. You got some special guests that should be joining the show tonight, which I'm super excited about. I legitimately can't wait. One of them is, I guess, kind of like a boss of mine of sorts. I'm gonna try to get some hot takes from him, see how he's feeling about things. Also, super talented wide receiver should be joining the show, hanging out with your boy for a little bit. Um, talk about all things going on in his young career right now. Look, the portal's open, and I know that people are jumping in. I know that there's a lot of movement, college football coaches, players, things like that. Um, the purists hate it, but look, times are changing, just like with anything else. You got to get used to it. The cell phone culture was not a thing until it became one, and now the transfer portal culture is officially here to stay. It is not going anywhere. NIL, the branding, the players branding themselves, publicizing themselves, trying to put their names out there. That's something that we're all going to have to learn to embrace and deal with. So, look, just be cool, show these guys some love, listen to their podcasts, listen to, follow them on Twitter, buy a shirt that represents them, or whatever. And enjoy the time that they're there. Enjoy the time that they're with your team. You never know how long that'll be. So just make sure that you enjoy it while you can. The Suns not taking off the way that I thought they would. Something that I've talked to some people about, Kevin Durant's team, Booker's team. I swear that I think that this is Book's team, but maybe it is KD's squad, and just gotta wait for all these guys to get healthy and be on the same page. Look, man, the Lakers are struggling. Um, LeBron's taking some time away. He wanted to play all 82. That's not going to happen for sure. Any of that can happen. So like, you know, these guys, listen, we also got to appreciate these guys in their twilight while we have them. So make sure that you guys show some love when you guys get a chance. Show the Sun some love, the KDs, the Books, the Beals. Make sure that you're supportive. Send that positivity. Also, if you're looking to send some positivity to a basketball program, make sure you guys are showing love to the Arizona State Sun Devils. I love the work that they are doing. I think they're currently like 8-2 right now. I know they just took a tough loss to Florida. The other team down south took a tough loss to, I believe it was UCLA. Not as tough as the one that ASU took to Florida. But listen, I think that Coach Hurley got this thing going in the right direction. Somebody get the message out there. I don't have any insider info, but I am hoping that Koa Pete will join the Sun Devils. I don't know if that's going to happen, but yeah, I think that'll be amazing if it does. Also, want to recognize Cardinals currently sitting around 500, and I think I think that they can. I think they got what, like 3 games left. I don't know. I think it's looking pretty bleak. It's getting bleaker and bleaker. If that's a word, I'm not sure, but I think that the Cardinals can try to at least just salvage the season. Let's just end with some victories. Look, if they can get finished 10-7, um, I don't see why they don't have a chance. Listen, I think they're only like 2 games behind or something like that. So I think that it's possible. Anything could happen. Any of these teams above them could go on a downward spiral, and things could just be all bad. Um, oh, hold on, my first guest is having internet problems. Uh, I hate it when that happens. But I think that they could make this thing work out, salvage the season, get things right. Um, but without further ado, I do got a super special guest that I cannot wait. Uh, one of legitimately one of my favorite people to see on Saturday. Um, and I only see him a couple Saturdays a year. I think it's usually about like 6 or 7 during the football season, and I see him sporadically throughout. Maybe one of these days he'll join me at my 7-on-7 event, Flight Club, which don't forget will be in June. So hang out with your boy. Stick around for just a couple seconds as we reload everything and bring on my first guest, the one, the only, straight from Devil's Digest, Hope Rubino. He's the boss man over there. So he pays me a small sum for all my hard work. Sideline sightings, you know. Hode Rubino, the legend.
How you doing, Chili? Good to be with you.
Yeah, hey, it's always good to see you around and now see you digitally, because this is like I think the first time that we've ever been on some sort of like digital platform conversing and talking about things. We're gonna get a few minutes to talk about all things like ASU, Sun Devils. Starting with this incredible playoff run. Hode, you've been at this forever with Devil's Digest, the creator, the starter. Have you ever experienced anything like this in your journalistic career with Devil's Digest, what the Sun Devils are doing right now?
Yeah, I think the closest thing would probably be 2013 when ASU did win the Pac-12 South and did actually get to host the Pac-12 championship at home against Stanford. Unfortunately, that game did not go that well for the Sun Devils. I know in 2014 they also had 10 wins, just like they did in 2013, but 2013 just felt a little more special just because they were able to clinch that Pac-12 South on the road in the Rose Bowl against UCLA, and then hosting the Pac-12 championship game at then Sun Devil Stadium. I mean, that was definitely special. I know in 2007 they won a share of the Pac-10 championship, but that was Dennis Erickson's first year, but still did not feel as special as 2013. But obviously 2024 is just off the chain. I mean, just for a team that people said a million times, nobody respected. People thought they were going to finish dead last. 16 out of 16 in their first year in the Big 12, and to not only have a winning season, but also to capture the Big 12 championship on top of that, it's really remarkable. Just a great testament to Kenny Dillingham and the staff. They've done an outstanding job over here in a very short time in Tempe.
Speaking of Kenny Dillingham, Coach Dillingham and his staff, look, Rengel, Mons, Iguano, Amy, all of these guys, like kind of like Arizona bred, if you will, through the high school ranks and stuff like that. Does that kind of change it and make it just like a little bit more special than any successful years in the past?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when you have Kenny Dillingham, who is an ASU alumnus, that just hits differently. It hits differently with the players that he recruits in-state. It hits differently even with all the players that are coming over here from California, Texas, from wherever, because they know this is not a mercenary. This is not a coach that is looking for a stepping stone. He is here to stay. He is here to build this program up. And as you know, Chili, this program was in a very dark place when Kenny Dillingham arrived. And that makes it even more remarkable to see what he's done in such a short amount of time, because there was a lot to fix over here. And I don't think any ASU fan would be disappointed with Kenny Dillingham if it took him year 4, year 3, year 4, year 5 to bring it to the level that it's right now in year 2, because they knew there was definitely a lot of cleanup on aisle 4, if you know what I mean. to really take place over here. But Ken Dillingham, I don't know if he really ever publicly said it, but he wants to be the next Frank Kush in Tempe. And the way his career is starting at ASU, and I know he still has a lot of way to go before he can get to that Frank Kush level, but it's off to a great start. And I think that when you just have not only him, like you said, with the Sean Aguano, Charlie Regal, Jason Mons, just coaches that call the Valley their home, and been calling the Valley their home for decades now, not just years. They want to see this thing through. And all those coaches really grew up, seeing what Arizona State, could have been. And obviously they saw a lot more failures than they did successes this century. So for them to be part of the program in their backyard and to bring it to where it's at right now, being such a short while on staff. Sean Aguano obviously has been here longer than the other guys, but it definitely hits differently. And I think the fan base is feeling it. This is like I said, an ASU alumnus. He's here to stay. He's here to build it up the right way. And you don't have to worry about Kenny Dillingham bolting next year just because, okay, yeah, I got ASU to the playoffs. I got ASU to Big 12 championship. It really can't get much better than that. So maybe I'll go to another program while my stock is hot. That's not Kenny Dillingham at all. He wants what happened in 2024. Kenny Dillingham wants to build on in 25, 26, 27, and the years beyond. So that's why it makes it even extra special to see the success you're seeing in Tempe right now.
I just got a text, so I have to acknowledge this real quick. Coach Cooper and Coach Ward also with Arizona ties. So I got to put that out there now, since I've officially been called out. Okay, so they also have the Arizona ties. So It's just such a unique situation. My point was being that this is such a unique situation to have so many coaches on one staff that have local ties, because I don't think that you see that at very many programs across the country ever. So no, I think that's super special, super unique.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people get mad at the transfer portal, and yes, it definitely has some issues. But people have to also remember that the transfer portal was because of what you just mentioned a second ago, Chili. All these coaches moving from program to program, not even every 2-3 years. Every year they're moving. But like you said, the makeup of this staff, and yes, you obviously have to mention Brian Ward and AJ Cooper, the people that grew up here in the Valley. I mean, Brian Ward was somebody who had a water route near Sun Devil Stadium. He was passing on. He was a paper boy for the Arizona Republic decades ago. I mean, those are people that grew up rooting for Arizona State, and I really feel that those are more coaches on the staff. They're not going anywhere. This is home, and it's not that you just go, you give the hometown discount, so to speak, and say, yeah, I'm going to be with ASU, but if things don't go that well, oh, it's still home, so I'm just going to, grin and bear and everything. I mean, they're here year two, seeing all the success. Why would you want to go anywhere else? I mean, this is where they're from. This is the place they want to raise their family. This is the place they want to stay as long as possible. And if ASU is successful in the midst of all this, then what other place would be better for those guys? So, yeah, I mean, I think the local flavor on this staff is really evident. And, even though players are moving from program to program year after year because of the transfer portal, I think ultimately they still want to come to a place where they know the coaches are going to be there for a while. And they know when the coaches are going to look them in the eye and say that I'm not leaving. I mean, if somebody's going to leave, you're going to leave before I leave Arizona State. That does mean something. I know we live in a very cynical world of college football. NIL has only made it worse. I get that. But that's what makes ASU so unique, is that honesty, that straightforwardness. And Kenny Dillingham said, I'm never going to tell a player, whether it's local, out of state, what they want to hear. I'm going to tell them what is exactly happening, my honest opinion on you, and my honest opinion on where this thing is going in terms of the program, in terms of your own career at Arizona State. And that's an honesty right now that's really lacking from a lot of programs, not only in the Big 12, but nationwide. And for ASU really to exercise that old school value, I think that old school value is working quite well with Gen Z and with the millennials, because that's something that, as simple and as like no brainer that it sounds, a lot of programs choose to take that route, to do what they can to land this kid and to worry about next year. As long as the NIL check clears this year, it's all good. There's not going to be any long-term thinking. And again, I said a second ago, Kenny Dillingham wants to be the next Frank Kush. If you want to be the next Frank Kush, you're not going to build this program on smoke and mirrors and on empty promises.
Sure.
You're going to be consistent with your promises. You're consistent with your message each day, each week, each month, each year. And players are really buying into it. I mean, I know when people talk about, team culture and buy-in, the roll your eyes, another football cliche. Fine. If you want to think that way, that's fine. But Arizona State and what Ken Dillingham has done with the implemented team culture shows you that it's no cliche. It is real. It is real what's going on over here in terms of just establishing the tone, establishing the mindset of the program. Again, I mean, as someone who's covered the program for 25 years, I'm still amazed at how effective Kenny Dillingham has been with those intangibles that are so important to a successful program. And again, how quickly he's done it. And, to your point, Chili, when you have so many coaches that grew up here at one point or another in the Valley, maybe that's really the secret sauce why you can make it not only successful, but successful so fast, because this program means a whole lot more than a paycheck for so many people on staff.
Yeah, a program that so many people, like you said, picked last in the Big 12. A lot of people felt like this was a mid-tier program around the country, maybe a lower tier. And these guys really put in that work. Listen, I really got to show Dillingham some love. He gave me a great restaurant rec over there, Ajo Al's. Yeah. He wasn't lying. Went there for the salsa, amazing. Went there for the I got the fajitas Coach Kenny's way, if you will, a la carte, extra lettuce, extra cheese. And then me and Ward, we got to have a conversation because he sent me to this place, Poncho's, one time, and that place was closed. So he might have a water route, but he's got to learn the hours of some of these restaurants. So me and Coach Ward definitely going to have a conversation on that sometime sooner or later. But, hey, speaking of Dillingham and the great job that he's done this year, up for Coach of the Year, not just Big 12 Coach of the Year, but the Big Dog Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year, up against Lanning, up against some of these guys, man, some big names in that group. Your thoughts on what the chances of him getting this are? Because I think the guy from Army really has a good opportunity to get this.
Yeah, I think Cignetti from Indiana has been really the media darling, and I don't want to sound like the West Coast crybaby that all of us are in this part of the country, but we feel that East Coast bias, we feel that Big Ten bias, we feel that SEC bias. I mean, it really is what it is. I mean, if anything, look how much the SEC was crying when the playoff field was announced. Oh, we only got 3 teams. Oh, a 3-loss Alabama doesn't get in. So everybody has their bias, and that's unfortunately something that's working against Dillingham and really against Dan Lanning for that matter. So Cignetti, I know already won the awards in one Coach of the Year award in some of the trophies that are given out there. And I don't know really how many Coach of the Year awards are still left between now and the end of the year. But I think it's going to be hard for Dillingham to get it. And it really is a shame because to improve a team by 8 wins from year to year, that's unheard of. Not only at ASU, just nationwide, unheard of. I mean, my boy Joe Healy did a study that just the number of coaches that doubled the amount of wins from year to year, and Kenny Dillingham obviously does over and above that, it's a very, very small list. So I think if nothing else, you need to give Kenny Dillingham his due for improving a team record by 8 wins from year to year. Again, you talk about NIL, you talk about transfer portal. Those are elements that are supposed to work against you to even double the amount of wins from year to year, right? And here's Kenny Dillingham, doing it like it's nobody's business. A team that still was dealing with some recruiting sanctions because of the recruiting violations that were committed here under the previous regime. So Kenny Dillingham had like one headwind after another, one obstacle after another, and he just really was able to just overcome them almost with ease. And really just bring the program to the level it's at. So, and I think unfortunately Ken Dillingham is not going to win whatever Coach of the Year awards are still out there, but he is absolutely deserving. And I know people might call me biased and everything, but again, look at what Kenny Dillingham has done from year to year. Look at what he's doing as the youngest coach in FBS. I mean, it's kind of funny that when he first got hired by ASU, people were using that age against him. And now I feel like by him not winning Coach of the Year, they're not showing the respect that he should get as such a young head coach at a Power 4 conference. But, Kenny Dillingham said many times, and I think you and I would agree on this point, ASU loves the underdog role. Just, give him that bulletin board material. See how that works for you. Because right now it's not working. I think clearly it's not working. So if Kenny Dillingham, needs more motivation, if players need more motivation, if running back Cam Scatterwood needs motivation for not getting invited to New York after what he's done as the most versatile running back in college football, that's fine. I think ASU just loves to be in that spot. Really, I think the icing on this disrespect cake that ASU, even though they're ranked number 4 in the playoff rankings, they still did a rankings of the top 12, and ASU, of course, came in number 12. So the playoff committee thinks that ASU is the worst team in the playoffs right now. It just blows your mind. I mean, they are a champion of a Power 4 conference.
They are.
I just don't understand. It's like people are going out of their way to disrespect ASU. And again, people can call me biased because I'm a beat writer for them, but really just look objectively at what ASU's done. It just really boggles the mind. Why are you trying to really go out of your way and die on that hill that's calling disrespect ASU? I just really, really don't understand it, because people want facts, people want receipts. Kenny Dillingham and his team, all they're doing is producing receipts. But it is what it is.
Hey, they are taking care of business. Listen, one thing that you brought up, the transfer portal, recruiting, things like that. Let's talk about recruiting real quick. Let's spend a few minutes on that. The 2025 class, I think it's super loaded. The super talented tight end from Orange Lutheran, the super talented corner over there from Corona Centennial. But locally, we do get the transplant. Tollefson, the quarterback that came over from California, the Mountain Point kid. We got Nellums from the small school, Santan Charter, and bringing home the bacon from Kellis. We got Tristan Bacon, the super talented linebacker over there from Kellis. Talking about some of those guys and, what you think that they bring to the table and how early we can expect them to play and how you think they'll fit into the program.
Yeah, with the quarterback, Michael Tollefson, I just feel that he's really due for a redemption tour. As we know, he had a really tough junior season in SoCal. Playing there, and then he wanted to move to a different school in SoCal. I believe it was Tustin, and they said he had to really pretty much sit out the whole year. So he came to Mountain Point, kind of mid-season, and was able to play. And I'm sure he did not play up to his standards. But give credit to the ASU coaching staff. I mean, it would be really easy for them to give up on a quarterback like Tollefson, who really has struggled his last 2 years in high school football. But he's somebody that, as long as Kenny Dillingham and offensive coordinator Marcus Aurora, who definitely have a very keen eye for quarterbacks, if they still wanted him on the ASU team after all this, I got to respect their opinion that he can do well on the college level. Obviously, quarterback is one of those positions where, as a true freshman, it takes you really a while to get into the groove. I mean, not everybody's like Sam Levitt. He's definitely the outlier, or even Jaden Daniels a few years back. But I think Tollefson is somebody that is definitely going to prove his worth down the road for Arizona State. Ryan Nellums, he's just one of those really gifted athletes, where obviously had a great year for Santan Charter, and Arizona State does see him as a wide receiver. And the position coach, Hines Ward, obviously one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game on Sundays. He's somebody that is really just molding this wide receiver room in his image, if you will. And if that's how highly he thinks of Nellums and his potential to be a very good wide receiver at the Big 12 level. So I think really, that tells you all you need to know about Nellums, even though he didn't play that position on a regular basis at Santan Charter, still had a great year for that high school, and now transitioning to wide receiver. I think when you just look at the measurables, 6'4", almost 200 pounds, and obviously he's only going to get faster and stronger once he gets to college. He's definitely one of the more intriguing prospects in this 2025 class. And Tristan Bacon, I mean, he's really just came under the radar. I don't think he really had any Power 4 offers besides Arizona State. But talent evaluation is something that this staff does very, very well. I really think that when you look at what they've done from in the transfer portal, people think it's okay. It's easy to bring 25 plus players like ASU did the first 2 years under Kenny Dillingham. It's really hard to miss. But you can see a lot of schools around the country. I mean, they definitely don't have the success rate that ASU does have. So whether it's getting guys from the transfer portal or getting guys from the high school rankings, whether it's here in Maricopa County or just elsewhere in the nation. I really trust his staff because, again, everybody wants to look at receipts. Everyone look at facts. You look at Kenny Dillingham pretty much turning over this roster 100%, and all he's done is bring one talented player after another. So I think if you're an ASU fan and you're really excited about this class and excited about the local players, I think you definitely have good reason to, because again, the eye for talent for the staff is something that has been really off the charts good. And that's why Arizona State is successful right now. I mean, there's not really many holdovers that are playing meaningful snaps besides linebacker Caleb McCullough from the Herm Edwards regime that are really part of the success of Arizona State right now. It pretty much is a brand new roster. And you can't do that if your coaches are just okay when it comes to talent evaluation. So I think every player that in the transfer portal, every player from the high school ranks that coaches have marked to be a Sun Devil, you got to be excited about, because again, their track record, even in a very short amount of time, speaks for itself.
All right, hey, last question, Hope, before I let you go. Really appreciate you hanging out. DevilsDiamonds.com. You can check out sideline sightings and all the cool stuff. Every now and then I jump in there on the message boards. Hope, I gotta know, ASU was active in the transfer portal last year and stuff, bringing some guys home. The Zach Swansons, they brought home like the Carlos Brooks, Jake Smith, guys like that. I'm curious, who do you expect to help down the stretch during this playoff run? Which one of these local guys do you think is going to end up playing a big factor, maybe surprise some guys and play a little bit bigger than they've done while they've been here so far?
Are you talking about players that are about to join it, that I think might join it?
Right now. Yeah.
Oh, right now on the roster, yeah. I think Zach Swanson, I think the second part of the year, the defensive tackle who obviously prepped at Brophy, did play for Texas, had some choice words for Texas yesterday about the amount of disrespect. I mean, you can go ahead and tell a player that, hey, you know what, it's not going to work for you. You might as well put yourself in the portal. But according to Zach Swanson, Texas went, the extra mile and really had some, not so nice words for him. Instead of just saying, happy trails, making it sound like that he's not, power forward material. And obviously Zach Swanson did prove them wrong. I mean, I think his defensive line depth has been so much better in Tempe than it has just even 2-3 years ago. And Zach Swanson is definitely one of those players. If anybody remembers the game against Utah, I mean, that I think was like the breakout party for Zach Swanson. And obviously, when you play a team like Utah, which is pound the ball, and when you have a guy like Zach Swanson step up, that shows you how successful the defense was for ASU that day. So Zach Swanson is definitely one player that I would look for in 2025 to be an integral part of that of that two deep. As far as other players, you look at special teams. I mean, there's a lot of local flavor right there. Cannon Floyd, the punter, as a true freshman, I think he did okay. This is a guy that's only going to get better, as each college year goes by. So he's somebody we want to keep an eye on. We know the struggles that Arizona State has had at place kicker. Parker Lewis did a great job. Another local guy did a great job with kickoffs. Did struggle somewhat with field goal kicking. But here comes another local guy, Carson Kiefer from Coronel del Sol. Really almost coming out of nowhere, made a field goal in the Big 12 championship game. We'll see if it's a place kicker for the future. But I think right now in the short term, Arizona State may have found their answer in Carson Kiefer, and a local guy. Those are the guys that really come to mind. DeCarlos Brooks, I think definitely shows some flashes. Jake Smith, wide receiver, shows some flashes. Both of them, as you know, are outgoing seniors. But we'll see if they can contribute a little in the playoffs over here. But I think overall, again, that any local player that Arizona State does bring into the fold is somebody that the coaches know that can contribute in one way or another. So, like I said, if you're an ASU fan, you definitely want to keep an eye on those local players because they're going to contribute in one way or another. Another guy I probably should mention just came to mind right now, Plas Johnson. Somebody that recover the onside kick exactly. And again, he redshirted. He didn't play that many games, but just one more guy that any opportunity that you gave him. Just like a Zach Swanson, for example, he just really maximized that opportunity to the fullest. There's a great young core of cornerbacks at Arizona State, and Plas Johnson is definitely one of them. So, maybe not so much in 25, but 26, 27, that's a guy that really could be the foundation of that ASU secondary. And, it's always extra special when you have a local player doing that.
All right, hey, Hode, man, we got to do this more often. Habanero
Absolutely.
hot takes. Shout out to our guy, Coach Amy, gave you the nickname Habanero. So we're gonna have to do this at least once a month, like Habanero hot takes, and we'll talk about some ASU basketball, football, the recruiting stuff, and all everything else that encompasses Devil's Digest. So Hode, I really appreciate you hanging out. I'll catch up with you down the line. You got a super special guest coming up right after you. Hopefully, we are doing some write-ups on him, and hopefully, one of these days in the next 12 months, he makes this pledge and pledges his allegiance. But we'll find out. So, Hode, I will catch you later, and hopefully, see you at practice. Maybe like tomorrow or next week or something like that. Right?
Sounds good, Shirley. Have a good one.
All right. Take care, Forks Up. You know the deal.
Top 2027 wide receivers in the country. I don't know who you talking to. You're not listening to me. Go talk to the wall. Jai Jones, straight up Chandler right now. I guess by way of Colonel Del Sol, right? Because you played your freshman year there. Now you're at Chandler, holding it down. Jai, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, hanging out. And no, that was not me soliciting, trying to get you to commit early to ASU. But if you do, it's all good. We can do it right here on the show. Hey, I got to get this out of the way because I know that Arizona State was your first Power 5 offer. Coach Dillingham, I remember you were out there for the sevens and stuff like that. Watching them go through everything last year to this year, what's that been like for you following their progress?
Bro, it's been a big change in culture, the guys who are around, the people I've talked to that go there. Like, the change has been crazy. And Coach Dillingham said it too. He was like, "I'm gonna activate the valley. I'm gonna change this all around." And he's doing just that.
No, for sure. And obviously, you bring in new wide receivers coach. Last year was Samples, and that I guess part of the team that recruited you. And then this year it's Hines Ward. How's the communication? What's that been like? With you?
Me and Hines haven't had much conversation, but we've had some. But me and Rashad Samples we're really tight, and we have a great relationship. He's down at Oregon.
Yeah. Okay. But I know you got the relationship with like Dillingham and stuff like that. And, I also know that you got the relationship down south, Coach Wade over there, really, really big fan of yours over there at Arizona. And you got a special relationship with him. What's that been like, the communication with U of A and Coach Wade?
I've always looked up to Coach Wade, even when I was little, 11, and I met him for the first time at a Desert Vista practice, and it was cool. But we've always, when I first had a conversation with him, like at me being older and talking to him, it was great. It was great, and then him seeing the relationship between him and my dad, it was great.
Played together or something like that. Like your dad was like kind of nice on the field. From I've heard some of these stories. I heard that he was kind of nice. So like we're gonna have to break the tape out and I'm gonna have to evaluate and take a look. Look, hey, but besides ASU and U of A, and I know you hold the NAU offer, so you got all the in-state schools. There's been UTEP, Cal, Washington. I'm curious who else has jumped in the mix lately. Have you had communication with some new schools?
Yeah, I've been in communication. My dad and I have been in big communication with Coach Chris Jackson down in Texas. That's definitely one. And I'm always sending my film. I'm always having a conversation, and things like that, and with different coaches. But Coach Chris Jackson has definitely been the biggest one yet.
Okay. Look. I know the season was interesting for you because you had to sit 5 and then you got to play 5. And then obviously it was Coach Garrettson's last year over there at Chandler. I'm just curious because Garrettson being such a legend, what was it like playing for him? What some of your favorite moments, some of your favorite things about him?
Man, Coach G has so many stories between like N'Keal Harry and all the guys that came through, and TJ Green and all the guys that came through, but he compared me a lot to Nikhil and the work ethic and just how my attitude is on the field and how my demeanor and things like that. That's really who he compared me to when he was there. But me and Coach G's relationship was really well. Like the same way I had an amazing relationship with Coach Barrow at Corona, I had an amazing relationship with Coach G down in Chandler.
And obviously, there's not a coach in Chandler right now. What are some things that you're hoping for in the new head coach over there, whoever it is?
Something new. I want this coach to bring something new and bring a new style, a new play style. And I feel like that we can bring back the old championships and the old, Chandler way. But I feel like we got to bring something new.
Okay, I dig that. Hey, look, I know that you're more than just an athlete. High GPA, 3.8 kid. What's your favorite class? Like, what are some of your favorite subjects in school? What do you gravitate to?
I've always been a big science. I always been big in science, but this year serious chemistry, biology.
No, stop,
environmental, all of it.
Dude, that's amazing. So you be in there with the little like beakers and all that stuff, and the little tube things, like mixing things up, blowing up the classroom.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times, but I like environmental. I
love it.
Learn about the ecosystem and things like that, in the space, outer space, and photosynthesis and things like that. I like that. But my favorite subject this year has definitely been math, and it's because I'm in there with 2 other football players, and we kill the class. We be in there working, and one of my coaches is the assistant teacher in there, and he's like,
Okay.
I'll be in there killing it because we get all the work done. We turn it in. We compete against each other and things like that. Like, it's fun.
Hey, look, this year, this class of 2025 here in Arizona, it was super loaded in the wide receiver department, if you will. The Boncors, the Tollers, the Cooper Perrys, the Desmond Roebucks, those type of guys. Gio Richardson, obviously Uriah Nellens and stuff. Now this year, your class, your 2027 class, yourself, Casper, Zarek Sidney, Dante Tyson, Baldwin, Sean Roebuck, like all those guys, like. Is it better? Would you say that it's going to be better than the current? Like, they paved the way for you guys. Like, are you guys going to take this to that next level?
And I feel like that's the difference. A lot of us have relationships with a lot of those guys. Like, I went to school with Raiden, and I've trained with Greg. I've seen Nico. Like, I know, and Desmond. I had a great relationship with Desmond. I looked up to him a lot. But I feel like that's the difference between us and them. We have someone to look after, to come after, to watch. So I feel like we have a great chance of being way better than they were.
Hey, constantly working on your game. You are always out there looking to get work, footwork drills, working on the mitts, whatever. How often are you training now that the off season is starting?
I've been out there all week, every day. Lifting.
Is it just you? Is it just you and your pops, or who do you work out with? Who trains you? Who helps you get that footwork in? Who helps you get the hands right? Because Giant got hands. Don't get it twisted.
Still, me and my dad, my little brothers, be out there. I'll be on the phone with Coach Kamal. Coach McCall McKinney, play for the Saints. He's helping me with a lot of my speed stuff, as my dad is too. But that's really it.
Hey, because your workout culture being super insane. Also, I do know that you're a camp monster. I got to catch you over there at the Under Armour camp in Salt Lake when you were absolutely abusing some of the top defensive backs from around the country. A lot of them from Utah. It is what it is. Talk to me about that. What are we planning on doing this off season? How's your schedule filling out? What do you want to do? Are you going to do sevens? Things like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the seventh circuit. Hoping to get into some OT7s, but if not, that's cool. Camps, I'll be at some camps. I got camp coming up January.
Okay.
And Adidas Pro invite.
The Adidas camp. Okay.
And then I'm gonna run a little bit of track.
Are you?
Showcase my speed.
You gonna get down with Coach Richardson?
Oh, you already know. You already know.
What events are you gonna run?
When I ran in 8th grade coming into high school, I took state in 4 events. So
Uh-oh.
I'm coming in to run the 1, the 2, 4x1, long jump. I might run the 4. I might run the 4. I might run the 4. I don't know yet.
All right. Hey, look, we don't know who the new head coach is going to be over there at Chandler, but I'm just curious, Jai, what can we expect from you yourself? The work that you're going to put in, like what can we expect from you next year when we get a full 10-game slate?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be pushing my team and myself to that next level coming in with this new coach, because I know that can either go really, really uphill, it can kind of have some roads, some bumps and things like that. But I'm going to be pushing my team to make sure we excel this season, this upcoming season, and be just fine.
So you and Menzel going to make sure that you get some off-season work in and stuff like that. Make sure that you guys have that thing right. And then I know there's a big tight end over there also that you guys are going to make sure you guys have him right too.
Yep, most definitely. We're already getting started. We're already texting, talking about when is the next time, when we're going to get some work, things like that.
What
are some things that you want to work on personally? What are some things that you feel like you can get better at that you want to work on this offseason?
My overall game. I'm big on my overall game. I can get better at everything. And that's really what I'm pushing for right now. Speed, hands, my versatility, everything. That's what I'm pushing for.
All right. I know I'm going to catch you out of some of these camps. I know I'm going to catch you out of some of these sevens tournaments. So I really appreciate you hanging out, and I'm going to come you down the line. Cool?
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. You take care.
Yes, sir. You too.
Trying to put y'all on
notice. Jai Jones is going to be one of the most exciting, one of the most explosive players in the class next year. He's going to be absolutely balling out. I fully anticipate that he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver type. One of those guys, those typical Chandler guys, the Johnny Johnsons, the N'Keal Harrys, the Gunnar Romneys, all those guys. Not all rolled up into one. He's his own person. But I think he's going to follow like those footsteps, and I think he's going to be super special over there. So I can't wait. We get 2 more seasons with him, so make sure you take advantage. Check him out when you get a chance. Also, I want to show my guy Hode some love. Thank him for jumping on the show, hanging out with his guy. Other than that, your boy Chili, I'm going to make my way out of here. Gridiron comes back next week, so stay tuned. Inside the Numbers, we got some countdowns of sorts, I think. I don't know. My man was in Disneyland Paris, and all of a sudden, got some ideas of some things that he wants to do. So I'm super excited, and I can't wait because whenever Gridiron decides to get creative with his segment, that's usually when the segment is the best. So just stay tuned for that. Next Tuesday, it's going down 2-piece, just like always. Every Tuesday, you can count on it, even if it's Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. Your boy Chili, I'm going to make my way out of here at Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Also, for all my folks on YouTube, Just Chili TV, make sure that you guys go check it out, justchili.tv. Hit the subscribe button. Show your boy some love. The interviews are going to live over there forever. Other than that, Forks Up Forever. Y'all know the deal.